won't find places like this in a tourist trekking guide. Nepal's remote western hills boast no snow-capped peaks or exotic Buddhist temples. There are no roads, no electricity, just the back-breaking daily grind of rural life. Left abandoned by Kathmandu's political elites, another force has taken root in these fertile fields of discontent. Here since 1996, the revolutionaries of Nepal's Maoist movement have been harvesting political power from the barrel of a gun. Far away to the east, in the capital Kathmandu, subjects still loyal to their king are on the way to his birthday celebrations. They queue for hours in their finery for a chance to present bouquets to the world's only Hindu god king. For a deity, he's been feeling decidedly mortal, a man desperately in need of happy returns.
Oh, my lovely king, my very real king. I support king because the real leader of our nation.
Only the king can solve our problem, not other.
King Gyanendra inherited a kingdom chronically in need of solutions. He was the most senior royal left standing after the rest of the family, including his brother King Birendra, were massacred 2 years ago by an inebriated crown prince who then shot himself. Nepal's royal army and police parade before their new king, part of this show of unswerving loyalty to the throne. Notably absent are some of the kingdom's key political figures. Nepal is supposed to be a constitutional monarchy. When the war with the Maoists escalated last October, King Gyanendra sacked an elected Prime Minister and installed his own government. Ever since, Nepal's political parties have demanded a return to democracy. Once loyal subjects were loyal no more. When people power brought democracy to Nepal in 1990, a culture of chaos came with it. In 13 years, there have been 13 prime ministers. While the Maoists turned to bullets, other parties stuck with banners, like former Foreign Minister Ram Sharan
Think you're achieving anything? There doesn't seem to be too much progress.
Of course, in a fight between the royal force and the people's force always wins. So we have no doubt about the ultimate victory.
Far away from the cacophony of Kathmandu's streets exists a far deadlier confrontation. For now at least, a ceasefire has silenced the guns of the government and the Maoists. That doesn't mean the rebel army is easy to find. We are invited to meet with them, but only if we are prepared to travel halfway across the country for the privilege, to the poor Midwest district of Surat. The other side of this bridge is a no-go area for government forces. We step from a kingdom into a red republic. This is a life basically unchanged for centuries. If you want to get anywhere, you do it on foot. And along the way, it's easy to see how the communist icons of a hammer and a sickle can have a simple appeal. Everything here is driven by the labour of humans or beasts.
Whoa.
The next morning, after a few last stumbling steps, we arrive at the Maoist camp.
Hello.
Again anointed as fellow travellers, we discover a kind of travelling festival dedicated to spreading revolutionary fervour among the rural young. As the heroes of the revolution loom over the proceedings, 25-year-old district leader Sudeep preaches anti-Americanism in an M&M t-shirt.
यदि अमेरिकी साम्राज्यवाद आफ्नो नेपाली जनताको आफ्नै अधिकार र नेपाली जनताको राष्ट्रियता यहाँको राष्ट्रियतामाथि हस्तक्षेप गर्न आउँछ भने उसको ती अधिकारहरू प्राप्त गर्नको लागि बन्दुकबाट टिकेको पुरानो सत्तालाई बन्दुकद्वारा नै
This has been a war largely waged under the cover of darkness. The Maoists rule the countryside, government forces control the towns, searching vehicles and imposing curfews. The confidence of the military now bolstered by the discreet cooking camp in Washington. Last year, the Royal Nepalese Army received $21 million in military training and aid from the United States, which has also placed the Maoists on its terrorist watch list.
Well, I don't see the Maoists coming into victory. I don't think the world would allow another Pol Pot, another Khmer Rouge to come into power. And there's obvious regional considerations here as well.
Washington has raised the spectre of genocide and outside support for the revolution. But these government troops have found scant evidence of it. Maoism may have sprung from neighbouring China, but Beijing has shown no interest in supporting the Nepalese comrades. This is a homegrown revolution, armed with weapons captured from this army it seeks to destroy.
The underlying problem is not the Maoist movement or their half-baked ideology. I mean, God, Maoism in 2003 is a bit hard to take. But that the Maoists have become the vehicle to express discontent, and that if it wasn't for the Maoist movement, that this discontent would be expressed in other ways.
हाम्रो पक्षबाट हैन हाम्रो पार्टीको पक्षबाट के हो त भन्दा ढोका सदैव खुल्ला छ हैन.
With almost no jobs and little education on offer in rural western Nepal, the comrades have filled the void with a syllabus of ideological indoctrination.
युद्ध जित्नका निम्ति हैन र पुरानो सत्ताका अथवा त्यो प्रतिक्रियावादी राज्य सत्ताका भरौटीहरूलाई परास्त गर्नका निम्ति हामीले सदैव जनशैलीलाई आत्मसात गरेर जनतालाई आफ्नो साथमा राखेर र जनतालाई विद्रोहमा उतारेर.
I think what the Maoists have done quite cleverly is to use the young, and these are very young people, boys and girls in the villages who had no hope for a job. They finish school and there's nowhere to go. Either you migrate to India to work or down to the cities. And this offered an exciting way, to spend your time. You got to carry a gun or a grenade. You got trained. You were with young people like yourselves, and you walked all over the country. And there was a certain excitement to it. And I think there was a lot of indoctrination as well.
Mao Zedong said that war is politics with bloodshed. And despite their apparent innocence, these cadres have seen their fair share of that. 6,000 people have died in the last 2 years. One of them was the father of this 12-year-old boy. His Maoist code name is Kranti. In Nepal, it means revolution.
त्यो अब बुवा पनि संगठनमा हुनुहुन्थ्यो गरे त्यसकारण त्यही बेला अब बुवा घरै सुतिरहनु भएको थियो बिरामी भएर त्यहाँबाट दुश्मन आयो अनि बुवा अनि यस्तै सुतिरहेको बेला अनि उठाएर लगेर अलि तलतिर लगेर अनि मारे.
Most people in my country would think that you should be in school, going to lessons.
स्कुलमै पढेको स्थितिमा गएर उसले स्कुलमै मारेको छ नि त स्कुलमै थुतेर आफ्नो हाम्रो मैसित पढ्ने साथीलाई पनि उसले मारेको छ हैन हामी ठुलाले मात्र गर्न सक्छन् भनेर हामी सानाले पनि गर्न सक्छौं नि भनेर यही हो
How are you? The Maoist's mysterious brother number one, Prachanda, has never appeared before a television camera.
Should we go inside? Or? Yeah, we'll go inside.
But after months underground, brother number two re-emerges to meet with us. Dr. Babram Bhattarai is the Maoists' frontman and ideological torchbearer.
That is a very stage, it will take time, but ultimate goal is to raise red flag everywhere.
What do you now mean by Maoism?
Now, Maoism is, to say in a very simple form, it's a ideology and philosophy which wants to empower the masses of the people, want to do away with all sort of exploitation, class, national, gender and all sort of exploitations, and create a most democratic and ultimately very classless and stateless society.
After weeks of backroom haggling, Dr. Bhattarai recently agreed to another round of peace talks. The Maoists are refusing to accept anything less than a new constitution and a radical reduction in the power of Nepal's king. Many believe the rebels are only talking at all because the Americans have raised the spectre of intervention and the refusal to tolerate another Cambodia. Dr. Bhattarai rebuts that claim with bravado.
If Pol Pot committed any massacre, I think Bush has committed more massacre than Pol Pot. So I think he should be compared to Pol Pot, not us. We want American imperialism to be away from Nepal, take its hand of Nepal, but if it intervenes, then we will fight them till the end and we will so convert Nepal into another Vietnam.
But there are many government opponents who reject violence and resent attempts by the king's men to strike a peace deal with the Maoists. At Kathmandu's City Hall, members and supporters of Nepal's last elected parliament gather for a protest meeting led by Maoist Nepal. Earlier this year, the king refused to anoint Nepal as interim prime minister, ignoring his endorsement by a majority of the parties. Maoist Nepal may be at loggerheads with the royalists, but he doesn't trust the Maoists either.
We are here in the city hall, we are on the street, we are with the people. We are the people's force, we are a democratic force. But you see, the behavior of the Maoists is that they harass all those who are critical of the Maoist. They don't give the democratic right or the sovereign right to others to operate among the people. So that is why we suspect on their intention for their commitment for the multi-party system.
Busily working the phones, Kamal Thapa is the government's top negotiator in peace talks with the Maoists. He believes that compromise is the last remaining hope.
I firmly believe that there is no other option left for the Maoist as well as for the government. We can linger with this, but none of the side can claim a total victory through violence. So there is no other option than peaceful negotiation. We have to bring them into the mainstream. This is our challenge and we will try to convince them.
It's not inconceivable, especially because the other parties are in such disarray. So they have quite a strong chance. In fact, we did a poll earlier this year, a public opinion poll in which we asked respondents all over the country, what if the Maoists laid down their arms, who would they vote for? And 20% said they'd vote for the Maoists, with the political parties in the single digits.
In the hills, young spirits are up. and utopian dreams are doing a roaring trade. The Maoists show no sign of giving up the gun before their demands are met. But underneath the ideology, those demands amount to little more than the violent insistence that the lives of the rural poor improve.
If you wanted to use one word on why Nepal is faced with this insurrection, it's exclusion. That many of the groups in Nepal have felt that they've been excluded from the process. Excluded because of many reasons, including geography and history and culture, things like caste, different ethnic groups.
As the Maoists pack up to move to a new secret location, we begin our journey home. Along the way, sitting on a pass between the hills, we find the village of Dahar, struggling to survive under two regimes. The villagers are regularly extorted by both Maoist and government forces. The family of tea shop owner, Na Bahadur, has lived here for generations.
मलाई केही खुसी छैन हजुर मलाई केही खुसी छैन अब हामी त के हो भने जनता हामी जनता भइसकेपछि अब जुनै सरकारले पनि अब जुनै पार्टीले पनि सरकार ल्याएपछि जुनै सरकार आए पनि अब आफूले मान्नुपर्ने हो त्यो सरकार मान्दैन भनेपछि अब हामीलाई अब कारबाही गर्छन् फेरि अब वहाँबाट फेरिबाट यसो गाटेर फेरि नेता भएर
Dahar has no health facilities and Na Bahadur's 3 children have no prospect of education after the age of 7.
अब अहिले आएर मानौँ न भनौँ अब माओवादी अहिले भर्खर त्यहाँ अब पुरा गोली गत्थाहरू लिएर आएपछि के गर्ने त अब के गर्छस् खाना दिन्छस् नै भने चाहिँ अब के गर्ने हजुर अब बाँध्नु लागि पनि अब खान दिनै पर्यो अनि उतातिरबाट अब साई सेनाबाट आयो भनेपछि हजुर एकासी अब आएपछि अब जे भने नै भन्न सकिँदैन अब गोलीको सामने त अब हामी त अब बाँचौँला भने 2 दिन बाँचौँला भन्ने माया सबैलाई हुन्छ के अरे त्यस कारणले पनि अब जोन सरकार आए पनि जुन राजनीति आए पनि हामीलाई यो गरिबको उत्थान कहिले नहुने रहेछ
Let's celebrate the 7th anniversary of the Great People's War. That's what these slogans say on the side of a police post in Miyakuna village. Right on the edge of government-controlled territory, it was recently attacked by Maoists. Looking on is 52-year-old Hira Gurung, but she has little to celebrate. It's been years since she's seen her 2 sons.
अब मेरो छोराहरू भर्ती भएको छ है अब मेरो छोराहरू घरमा आउन नपाउने है छोराहरूसँग भेट हुन नपाउने छोराहरू घरमा आउन नपाउँदाखेरि अब माओवादीको डरले आउन नपाउने भए त्यही भएर मलाई मन पर्दैन कुनै भाइ त हो नि माओवादी पनि लडाइँ नहोस् शान्ति सुरक्षा होस् भन्ने मन पर्छ
The friendliness of Nepal's people was what lured so many to this peaceful nation until just a few years ago. That lost innocence may never be regained, as every ceasefire so far has seen a return to war.
Though we don't want to return to war, if the war is forced on us, then we will be waging war, we'll wage war till the people are totally victorious. This is our stand.
That is almost unthinkable because the next time the war starts, if it does, it'll be much more vicious, much more brutal. The death toll will be, I mean, what happened last year would be a picnic.
If the guns are to stay silent, the clamour for compromise must get louder. Because it's unlikely the once excluded voice of rural Nepal's poor will ever be quiet again.